Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I decided to make another one part about JonBenét Ramsey because I want to dive deep in this case. Plus I have another more additional questions which I didn't read in a previous part, which I made the first video on the channel. So a very quick pre-story. In the quiet night of December 25th, in 1996, the 60 years old beauty queen JonBenét Ramsey vanished from her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. Her body was found in the next day in the basement, beaten, strangled, and wrapped in a blanket. A ransom note was found on a staircase demanding $118,000. But the tragedy was already unfolding. So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna more focus about the killer, on the person who killed JonBenet. Okay, so let's see the true motives of this person, his energies, and also a couple of things about investigation. And of course about that ransom note. I'm gonna include all those questions in this reading. Alright, that should be enough. So the man, this perpetrator who entered the Ramseys' home that night, was not a stranger to the family's orbit. He was not her father, and it wasn't any other Ramsey's family member. But he was someone who had been close enough to observe them, close enough to develop a twisted fixation on the little girl who was constantly in the spotlight. Uh, he was a middle-aged man, in his early 40s at the time, pale skin, thinning, light brown hair, brushed back, and he had narrow, tired eyes. a pointed nose, thin lips, and very nervous energy in his face. He had the build of someone who worked with his hands, lean but wiry. Uh, not strong in a traditional sense, but yet capable of quick, precise movements. So that night he wore dark clothes, probably a long dark jacket, gloves, and knit cap, which was pulled low enough to obscure most of his features. His motive was like a mix, like a cocktail of obsession, envy, and anger, all at the same time, like a strong mix. So a warped emotional storm that had been building for months, maybe even more. Uh, he resented what JonBenet represented: beauty, attention, privilege, and innocence wrapped in the glittering pageantry. To him, she was an untouchable symbol of everything. He felt denied in his own life. Um, yeah, so like, yeah, for him, she was like an untouchable symbol of everything that he felt denied in his own life. Yeah, that's the. All right, so the crime was not born from opportunity alone. It was premeditated, but emotionally very messy, driven by uh, the desire to feel control over a world where he felt powerless. So most likely he entered the house shortly after 1 a.m. I would say somewhere between 2 and 3:30 a.m. because I'm capturing this timing. Um, he knew the layout. He knew which window had a loosened latch. He removed this grate quietly and slipped down into the basement and moved with the caution of someone who had uh, rehearsed the entry in his mind uh, like very countless times. So when he entered inside the basement, inside the house to that basement, he moved very slowly, listening for any sounds. The family was asleep at that already at that moment. He waited in the shadows of the basement staircase for several minutes, steadying his breath. And when he moved upstairs, it was with purpose, knowing exactly which hallway to follow. He was alone, uh, no accomplices, no partners, nobody waiting outside. This was his own act, his personal obsession, and he wanted no one to interfere. When he entered JonBenet's room, he wearing gloves, a soft fabric mask pulled up just beneath his eyes. And his intention at first was not to kill. He wanted to take her, to remove her from the life he envied, to claim control over something he felt the world had denied him. But things spiraled quickly. So JonBenet uh, woke up and she struggled. And at this moment, panic overtook him. The situation, um, unrevealed beyond the fantasy he had constructed in his mind. So The fear very suddenly became turned into a violence, and he just silenced her, not with deliberation but with desperation. And afterward, shaking and sweating, he staged details uh, clumsily, attempting to redirect blame. A ransom note, repositioning objects, trying to craft a narrative that would push suspicion away from himself and toward the family. Uh, he left exactly the same way he came breaking into, through the same basement window, slipping into the cold night before dawn uh, crept across Boulder. And his clothes blended with the darkness. His footsteps were very soft, very smooth, soft, pretty much quickly disappeared. And by the time when the sunrise, he was already gone. So he was like a ghost whose face no one would remember, but whose presence in that house changed everything forever. And yeah, speaking about the investigation, uh, from the beginning, the investigation was clouded by missteps. A crime scene heavily compromised. Evidence was mishandled, and suspicion cast on both sides, inwards and outwards. Um, so the layers of the case suggests a chilling reality. So this was not a simple kidnapping. The ransom note may have been, uh, it actually, it was a diversion, this ransom note. A crafted statement to disguise a more deliberate, sinister plan. There, there was a DNA from an unidentified male tied to the garrote, uh, but um, but then threat remains largely unresolved. So as I can feel here through those energies, uh, the person responsible for JonBenet's death was a man who understood power, not brute force, but control. He carried authority and was used to hiding his influence behind calm, respectable facades, facades. Hope I correctly pronouncing the word. Okay, so he struck not out of impulse, but with precision. His goal was actually not really money, because in my previous version, in my very first video, I said that it was a kidnapping which gone wrong, and like our main purpose was money. Kinda not really. It was like 50-50. It was just a half of the plan. Money, it was just like a bonus for him, could be, but as I can feel here, can see here, it's not truly about the money. It's more about um, uh, messing up big time to the family. It's like a personal revenge also as well, just like it's his personal obsession of this girl. But there's a very strong possibility that this person somehow was in their house as a guest, So, and and somehow I feel the connection between between him and her father. Maybe truly they did some work, some business together in the past, because there is some kind of a business-related relationship between them. So there's a very high possibility that this person, he worked with John before. So yeah, and speaking about, so yeah, his goal was not money, but silence and takeover. So JonBenet's spirit is still fighting through the shadows, urging us to peel back the layers, to expose what powerful hands may have hidden. The truth may still be out there, buried beneath carefully staged scenes, half-spoken confessions, and mm, decades of uncertainty. So that's pretty much it, what I can say here. So yeah, but in one thing I'm completely sure, just like in my previous video, I said that it was, so yeah, my version was that this murder was done by none of one of family members. It was done by a completely strange person, which not belongs to to Ramsey's family. So, and in this video as well, my theory as well remains the same. So this murder was committed by a random person, which is not mother, not father, not brother. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit likes, and see you very soon in the next videos. Bye for now.